Hello, Laziali all over the world. Welcome to this episode of Lazio Lounge. I'm Vittorio Campanile, and today I'm flying solo because Alasdair isn't joining me, and I don't know when he's gonna be back. Uh, Big news, exciting news, because last week Lewis Andrew Mackenzie was born. So Alasdair, incredible, has become a dad, and he decided to take a little bit of paternity leave from the podcast. So join me in making congrats to Alistair and obviously his wife. And welcome, Luis Andrew. New Aquilotto have arrived, and really happy for Alistair. And don't worry, this will be the only podcast. I will be alone. In the next one, I will be joined by friends. But today I had a busy schedule, so I couldn't organize the podcast. And so I'm flying solo, but I'm not alone. I have my nice coffee here to help me. We have so many things to talk about. And yes, without Alistair, we're not going to talk about Scottish players. So enjoy this Scottish free podcast. Plenty of things to talk about. We have to talk about Lazio winning at home against Cagliari. That wasn't an easy game. Cagliari away has been a difficult team. And I was listening and watching on social media, a lot of people complaining about Lazio being boring. I'm not sure that Lazio's being boring with under Sarri. Yesterday, in the first half, we had three huge chances. Basic wasted a good opportunity. Zaccagni had a good one. Marulic had another one. So it's not that we are not creating chances. I think Lazio played a good game and deserved to win. I think we need to finish better. And this is our biggest problem. I think when Ciro left, that has become the biggest issue this team had. Dia was dreadful yesterday. Don't know if it was his worst game with the Lazio shirt, but definitely we have a problem. We have a number nine problem because, yeah, we missed Tati Castellanos yesterday, but it's not that Tati is a top scorer, someone who scores 20 goals a season. So I think we need to do something. Obviously, we know the issue about the transfer market. So, but I think we need to next summer probably to sign a new player, or as I said from the start of the season, give a little bit of space to Tijani Noslin, because I think in a roster that has a lot of holes, has a lot of problems, Tijani Noslin may be the solution there. But it wasn't an easy game. We didn't have that much time to recover. Lazio played on Thursday against Pisa, and we already saw Thursday night a team that was tired, a team that wasn't running that much, that a team that had issue. We lost other players on Thursday. We lost Romagnoli yesterday. I hope it's nothing that bad, but Romagnoli was subbed at the end of the first half, and Prosker came in. So even Isaksen, who had a terrific game against Juventus, didn't play as well as against Pisa yesterday. He was one of the secret, one of the reasons why Lazio won the game, but you could see he was tired. Let's not forget that this was the third start for Isaksen, the third consecutive start from Isaksen, and you could see a little bit of fatigue. Now we have couple of days to recover. Sunday night, there's going to be a very, very difficult and challenging game against Inter away. I saw Inter this weekend, and I'm not convinced. It's funny because they're all talking highly about Christian Kivu. I don't think he's that great coach. I don't think Inter is playing much better than they did last year with Inzaghi. So I don't know why everybody's talking so highly about Kivu and, for example, not about Maurizio Sarri. Lazio won 2-0 against Cagliari, who is a good team, especially away. This is curious because I think they lost just one away game this season in August. So after August, they didn't lose a single game away. And so yesterday was the first time. So this is to give a little bit of credit to Lazio. Isaksen probably man of the match. I don't know. He made a very important goal. And talking about Isaksen, it's very bizarre. He doesn't score a lot of goals, right? We would need him to score 10, 15 goals a season, especially now without Chiro, but he didn't. But funny enough, he scored a decisive goal against Vittorio Pilsen, against Napoli, against Atalanta, and yesterday against Cagliari. He doesn't score a lot of goals, but he scores very important, decisive goal. So this is good. But he needs to be better in finishing. Yes. Again, um, yesterday could have done better in the first half, but he scored a good goal in the second half, and that changed the game pretty much. That was the moment where I thought Lazio was a little bit struggling. We were tired. We were running a little bit less than in the first half, so we needed a spark, and that where Isaksen came up and changed the game with that goal. So I think Isaksen is one of our key players, if not the key player of this team. And as I said in my Italian YouTube channel, it's crazy to think that people wanted to sell Isaksen a month ago because he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing because he wasn't fit, but he's going to be very important for this team because at the end of the day, we don't have that much quality. And I think Isaksen and Zakanya are the only two players we have that can create opportunity, can create chances, can win one against one. So we need those type of players. And we would love to see Zakani and Isaksen score more goals. There's a nice and funny stats if you want. Every time Zakani score, Lazio win. This tells you that Zakani doesn't score a lot of goals, but this tells you as well that when Zaccagni plays well, Lazio become a very dangerous team. So I think this is very important. We have to rely a lot on left and right wing because with a number nine like Dia or Castellano, who doesn't score a lot of goals, Castellano, the positive thing, he creates space and chances to our other players. I remember when was it when he did the Rabona assist to was it Zaccagni or Guendouzi? I don't remember. It was a home game after against Verona, right? So Castellano creates something. Dia yesterday was terrible. I don't think he had a shot on target. I don't think he made an assist. I don't think he won a ball in all the game he played. And I understand that Sarri didn't want to take him off early because he needed to defend the player. And in the press box, in the press after the game, he said, "Ah, no, Dia played a good game. He defended well. He fight a lot, etc., etc." I think that's rubbish. He said so only to defend the player who was booed when he was subbed. I thought Dia was terrible, and we played pretty much all game long with 10 men with Dia playing. When Noslin came in, we we were finally playing 11 against 11. Now this is an issue. I don't think Tati will be back before the break, the international break. Yes, there is another useless international break. It's beginning of November. This is the third international break. That's too much, far too much for me. But I mean, it could be helpful for Lazio to recover some players. But I don't think Tati is going to be available next Sunday against Inter. So I don't know. I wouldn't stick uh, again with Dia. I would try a different solution, but it doesn't look Sarri is going to change something there. So I don't know. It's going to be very difficult against Inter. I think Dia didn't even try to do something yesterday. So that's the most annoying thing because I mean, as we said from the beginning of this season, we don't have that much quality. We don't have any Mochiro, Milinkovic, or Luis Alberto. Everybody needs to fight for 95 minutes, give their best. That is not a lot, but still, if everybody plays and give everything on the pitch, it's gonna be a decent season. I'm not saying Champions League. We could get in Europe League, even because guys, I don't know if you saw the other Serie A games. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. I saw Napoli struggling against Como. Napoli deserved to lose on Saturday if Milinkovic Savic doesn't save the penalty. Napoli loses that game. Milan Roma, again, a lot of mistakes. Inter won a last second with a deflection, an own goal, and even Inter is playing rubbish. So there is no Real Madrid, Manchester City in this league. So you don't need unbelievable players to win these games. You need to focus. You need to be prepared. You need that everybody gives 100%. And I thought there has been a change for me in this team. I thought we started the season very bad. I don't think players were focused. Instead, in the last games, I thought something changed. I thought even with the lack of quality, everybody's giving their best. And we don't talk a lot about Manuel Lanza in this podcast. And I thought he was perfect for the 3-5-2 system of Simone Inzaghi. I'm not sure he's the perfect fit for the 4-3-3 of Maurizio Sarri, but in the last games, Lazzari gave his best, which is not a lot, I repeat, but you know, we are not playing Real Madrid, we're playing Cagliari. And if you give your best, if you focus for all the time you're on the pitch, it's going to be fine. I thought Lazzari had another decent game. I thought against Juventus he was really good. I thought against Cagliari he played another good game. So, if you add Lazzari, if you add Marusic playing careful and focused, Romagnoli, Hila had another very good game. We should be able to win these games. We should be able to beat this type of team. Now, against Inter is going to be a different matter. Inter, you need to step up a little bit more the level, but against the other team, it should be fine. So this is something we have to talk about because everybody's complaining about boring football, Lazio playing a boring game. Again, I thought Lazio created chances yesterday. And on the other side, we are not conceding that much. This was the fourth consecutive game without conceding a single goal. And it's incredible, guys. It's unbelievable. If you think that this team is the same of last year, Marusic was there, Lazzari was there, Hila, Romagnoli, Nuno Tavares, Provedel. Last year, Provedel was a disaster. This year, Provedel is finally playing as a good goalkeeper. Yesterday, he didn't make any incredible saves, but we didn't concede a single goal against Cagliari. To be honest, they had three pretty good chances. Two in the first half, one in the second, and they wasted three huge opportunities, to be honest. But uh, this is even a positive sign. I mean, 4 games without conceding goal, and these 4 games we played against Atalanta, Juventus, that are good teams. Yes, Atalanta is not scoring a lot of goals this season. Gasperini is not there. Juric, for me, personal view, he's a terrible manager and could be sacked before December, before Christmas. But still, Atalanta was a dangerous team and we didn't concede. We didn't allow any goal. And this is important because, it's obvious, but if you don't concede goals, the worst thing that can happen is that you draw the game. You don't lose if you don't concede goal. Obviously, you need to score to win games. But I mean, if you think last year Lazio was conceding to everybody. We had games where we were going to the game and we know we had to score at least 2 goals because we know that we were conceding at least 1 goal. Now it's different. Lazio starting to win games 1-0. And this is good, especially because we don't have quality. We don't have enough quality to believe that we're going to score 2 goals or more in every single games. And Sarri said something very important yesterday in the press conference after the game. He said, we don't have quality, so our defense is the key. If we don't concede goals, it's going to be good. That's our main focus. We don't have to concede goals because we don't have that top quality there in front, but we can score one goal per game. And if we don't concede and we score one goal, we're going to win the game. And this is what's happening, right? Juventus, yesterday we scored another goal at the last second, and that was a terrible mistake from Cagliari defense. But we were going to win the game 1-0 anyway. So this is an important thing. Yes, I understand that for someone could be boring, but truth to be told, it's not that we scored two goals because we had two chances. The first half, we had three huge chances. In the second half, we had a couple of good chances. We have to take our opportunity. We have to take those chances because we're not going to create 8, 9 chances, huge chances a game. This is not that type of Lazio. We are not going to concede much, and we have to take the opportunity when we have it. And to be honest, I don't see huge defenses. Milan, Roma have good defense. Napoli should, but they're struggling a little bit now. So it's not that we're playing next Sunday, we're playing against Inter, who is a good team, better team than us. It's obvious. But they are conceding, they're making stupid mistakes, and we have to take opportunity to score. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Toma Basic because he's the biggest surprise of the season, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Toma Basic started five consecutive game with Lazio shirt. I think this is the first time ever. And I don't want to be critical, but I thought yesterday was his worst performance since he came back. And I think the main reason is that he's a little bit tired. Fatigue is picking up. He played 5 consecutive games after 2 years of not playing a single minute. A single minute. I thought he was astonishing in the first couple of games. He was flying all over the pitch, running everywhere, and he looks more convinced. For me, he looks like he knows this is his second and last opportunity with this club, and he's giving everything he has. So I'm not complaining, but I thought yesterday he was not great. Not terrible, not at Diaz level, but not as good as, for example, against Juventus. So I thought maybe you should sub him a little bit earlier, but I think going forward, Sarri should think maybe to start Vecino. Vecino is probably ready, and we saw that things changed when Vecino came in instead of Basic. Now, don't get me wrong, I appreciate what Basic did so far, and I think it's unbelievable if you think the situation he was in. But I think there's a reason why Basic was out of the squad now. Um, it's not that we had Mbappe out of the squad. We have Basic, and we are seeing why he was out. He's running, he's fighting. Lack of quality. Yesterday he had a huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. From there, you have to at least put the ball in the goal and then see what Caprile does. Caprile is a very good goalkeeper. I like him a lot. He made a very good save on Adam Maros in the first half. So yeah, thanks Basic, but I think it's time for you to go back to the bench. And then we have to see what happened with El Bashiro. That's probably another conversation. Uh, to be honest, Basic played better than Dele Bashiro this season, and this is embarrassing for Dele Bashiro because they were saying he's athletic, physical, he's great talent, etc., etc. This season he didn't show up. He didn't prove it. I think Basic deserved to be ahead of him. But let's see what happens next Sunday against Inter. Who's gonna start? I think we have to talk about our defense. I thought Provedel has improved a lot. He didn't do nothing special yesterday, but you can see he was in control, which watching from stadium, you can see things that TV doesn't show you. I saw Provedel more in control, more focus, more commanding the defense. Last year, I thought Provedel was very insecure, wasn't confident. Probably the change of manager with Nenci, that is the goalkeeper, coach back. I think Provedel find his confidence. He's back to 3 years ago where he was top level. So this is very good. But the secret is not only Provedel. I mean, last year, how many times did we talk in this podcast about stupid mistake from Adam Marusic? How many goals did we concede last year because Marusic forgot to follow his man, to jump, to mark his man on the second post? This year it's not happening. I think Maurizio Sarri did an unbelievable job in managing the defense, giving confidence to these players. Romagnoli last year didn't play that well. This year looks like a different player. And even Proska, who came in the second half, I thought he played a good game. I thought he was decent. I mean, we're not talking about Alessandro Nesta, but he played well. And, you know, if you think last year we were conceding goal to everybody, and now this season we are playing, we are not conceding, we are defending much better. This is great. And let's not forget something. We don't have Nicolo Roella. Last year, Nicolo Roella was the key for Lazio. No, Rovella is very important, especially for our defense, because he's like the wall in front of the defense and stop a lot of balls coming. Cataldi yesterday, I don't know, I don't think he played that a good game. I thought he missed a lot of passes, and he's not defending as a Rovella. In the last couple of games, Cataldi wasn't great. And again, it's a little bit like Basic. If you go and watch, this is pretty much the same 11 that played Thursday. Yes, there is Lazio instead of Pellegrini, but the other 10 were the same. And they were the same that played the game before. So we're not doing that much turnover. And I think Cataldi, who's a player who didn't play a lot in the second half of the season last year with Fiorentina, he was often injured. Basic, Isaksen, who came back from a bad disease, Lazzari, who came back from injury. These players are looking a little bit tired. So the international break comes at the perfect point. But we need to find a solution. But the problem is, I know a lot of people write, hey, we need to do a little bit turnover, switch players, etc. As someone at the stadium was saying in front of me, guys, it's not that on the bench we have, I don't know, Mbappe or Modric or De Bruyne. We have Pellegrini, we have Belayan, we have Tijani Nosni, we have Pedro. It's not the case that you say, hey, Pedro comes in and changes the game, or Vecino comes in and we're going to score. It's not. Pellegrini came in and was he better than Lazzari? No, I'm not convinced. I don't think he played much better than Lazzari. The opposite. I thought Lazzari played better. Lazzari was subbed because he was tired. He's a player who picks injuries, so Sarri wants to avoid him to play 90 minutes. Basic was tired. That's why Vecino came in. But Vecino didn't light up the game. Same thing we can say about Pedro. I think Pedro has a problem this year. Last year with Baroni, he scored 10 goals. And he was very important for the team. Now, we didn't win nothing. We didn't reach the Europa League. But without those 10 goals, where would Lazio finish last season? The thing is, last year we were playing with a 4-2-3-1. And Pedro wasn't playing on the wing. He was playing far more centrally without defending at all. So he was closer to the goal. He was fresh. He could be decisive when we needed. Now with the 4-3-3 of Sarri, Pedro can not play as a number 9. He needs to play as a trequartista. But we don't have the trequartista now. So that's where the problem for Pedro comes. We don't have that position where Pedro can strive, and that's why Pedro is not playing great anymore. Noslin came in. He wasn't worse than Dia. I think nobody could have been worse than Dia. But again, he didn't do nothing special. The second goal, the Zaccagni goal, was a mistake from Cagliari defender who passes the ball directly to Zaccagni, who is good to score because he put the ball where Caprile can never get it and finish the game, which was important. But, again, we don't have that bench that you think, hey, he's coming in and he's going to win us in the game. No, it's not going to happen. Now, I don't know if you noticed yesterday, I thought it was the beginning of the second half. Cataldi went down. I don't know if he picked an injury or he uh, was hit by a player, etc. I remember we had Belayan on the bench, and that was the first time in the last 3 days I thought about Belayan. He's completely gone. He's a mystery. And again, as I said before, it's not that Cataldi played that unbelievable game that you say, Belayan, you're not coming in because we don't need you. I don't think Cataldi played that well. So the fact that Belayan didn't come in a game where Cataldi didn't play that well, it's for me a message. Um, there's a lot of rumors here in Rome about the transfer market. What is Lazio going to do in January? We're going to have to sell players to buy new one. And everybody was talking about Isaksen. We have to sell Isaksen. Isaksen is the right player, blah, blah, blah. I said it and I repeat it. Isaksen is probably the only player with Rovella we don't have to sell. I would be even upset if we sell Mandas because he's young, he's rising star. I think he can be really, really very useful in the future. I think Belayan could be the player leaving in January. He's not playing. He can have a transfer market. I mean, he's young. He's very young. So maybe you can have clubs offering a good fee for the player. We can send him on loan and see if he starts playing. We bought him for 10 million euros, which is a little bit too much for the player, I think. So I'm not sure we're going to get the same amount of money we spent on the player back. But if we can sell him from 9, 10 million euros, that would be amazing. And you can use that money in buying other players. Because it's pretty clear to me that Sarri doesn't think he can be useful. I mean, Vecino's coming in instead of Belayan. Basic is starting instead of Belayan. Cataldi is playing, even if he's tired. So I think Sarri sent a clear message to the managers, to Fabiani. Belayan could be one of the players to sell. I think we need to sell at least 2 players this winter. So Belayan could be the first one. Noslin could be the second one, as he's hardly playing. And Sarri said, well, he's not a winger, he's not a number 9, he's something in between, which I get it. And yeah, I think the same thing about Noslin. He's not a number 9, he's not a typical number 9, he's probably not a winger, but inside the box, he can be very dangerous. He has the traits that Tati doesn't have, Dia doesn't have, Zaccagni doesn't have. So he could be useful. I think if we switch back to our 4-4-2, Nosley could be very important. I know Sarri won't go back to that system. We're going to stick with the 4-3-3, but I don't know. Selling Nosley in January could be a shame. I think he could be useful to this team. But, I mean, we are in emergency mode, so we need to sell players. And obviously, it's not going to be Kamenovic who's going to give us money. He's not going to sell Kamenovic for 10 million euros. You're lucky if someone offers you more than 1 grand for Kamenovic. So you need to sell key players. You need to sell important players. And this brings me to another solution. And I want to hear your comments, obviously. Matteo Guendouzi didn't play well yesterday. And he hasn't been playing great recently. A guy in front of me said he's only passing the ball backwards. And he's not 100% wrong. Guendouzi never try, the deep ball, the assist, the ball that puts the Zaccagni or who else is it in front of the goalkeeper. He's not risking passes. He's running a lot. He's shouting a lot. But from a player like Guendouzi, especially now that we don't have Milinkovic Savic, Luis Alberto, we need someone in midfield who steps up. And I thought Basic was far more dangerous than Guendouzi. And so I feel like Rovell and Guendouzi together, they are redundant. They are too similar to play together without a quality player close to them. So I'm not saying I want to sell him. I like Guendouzi, but if we are struggling, I think Guendouzi could be the players you can sacrifice and maybe sign a better midfielder, a quality midfielder. But I mean, we have to see what happens. I think the market is going to dictate everything. I mean, if you don't get any offer from Guendouzi, you cannot sell him. And maybe you don't want to sell him, and then suddenly you get an incredible offer, and you have to think about it. So we have to see and wait what happens in the transfer market. Talking about transfer market, rumors are that Sarri is pushing hard to sign Insigne. Guys, can I say I'm not convinced about this? I mean, yes, Insigne had his best season under Maurizio Sarri at Napoli, but that was ages ago. Ages ago. Um, my Canadian friend can confirm that he was terrible in the MLS. He didn't play great football at all. So he's not getting any younger. He didn't play what for 1 year. So I mean, I wouldn't sign Insigne for free, and we have to see what salary he wants. So honestly, if I'm Fabiani, I'm looking for probably a winger, maybe a number nine, but younger, more talented, and willing to prove everybody that he can step up and be a Lazio player. I think one of the secret of Iglitare signing when he was at his top level was signing players who had a chip on the shoulder, players who came to Rome and say, I need to prove everybody is wrong. I need to prove that I'm not done. I still can compete at certain level, or that I'm not a bust, that I can be a really good player. Happened with Ciro Immobile, Luis Alberto, Milinkovic Savic, Leiva. All the players that shine in Rome were a player coming after a bad season or being benched, etc., etc. So I don't know. I wouldn't be thrilled if we signed Insigne. Well, I would have been 5 years ago, but not now. So I don't think Insigne is the right player for us. So yeah, Lazio had a good performance yesterday. We have to say something. This is the fourth game in a row that we are not uh, conceding goal, and so it's the fifth game in a row we don't lose. Last game we lost was the 21st of September. It was the derby, unfortunately. But of these 5 games, we won, sorry, 6 games. Genoa, Torino, Atalanta, Juventus, Pisa, and Cagliari. So it's 6 games in a row we don't lose. 4 in a row that we don't concede a goal. In these 6 games, we won against Genoa away, against Juventus at home, and Cagliari at home. So we win 3 out of 6, which is not bad. Obviously, table is not great. We are 8th, but we are 3 points away from Juventus that is 6th. So the Europe League, well, no, in this case it's Conference League, but we have to see what happens with the Coppa Italia. It's not far away. It's not out of reach now, but we're playing Inter next Sunday, so we could lose points. We could go down again. But I think it's important that Sarri registered our defense. We are defending much better. Now we need to step up a little bit there. But having Isaksen back is a huge boost for us. I think Isaksen it's gonna be decisive for us. It's gonna be one of the our biggest weapon we have this season. He needs to score more goals, definitely score more goals, but he's creating chances. He's coming back. I don't think he's 100% fit. Maybe after the international break, he's gonna be better. But yeah, Isaksen is gonna be the key. I think we can wrap it up here. We're gonna be back Monday after Inter Lazio, crossing fingers. Very difficult game. Thanks to our Patreon. Remember, if you want to support us, patreon.com/Lazio Lounge. Membership starts at $2 a month. And take care, guys. And thanks for joining me in this solo podcast. Take care.